Hey everyone, this is Nate and this is the Nader Tater channel. Alright, today I'm going to compare these two different dehumidifiers, and kind of there's a lot of things that are the same about them and there's a lot of things that are different about them. So I'll kind of go through that, and now I'm actually going to bring one of these down to a vacation home, and that's going to be used to keep that house, at a lower humidity level that helps prevent mold, mildew, that kind of stuff when you're not using it. In a hot climate, you don't want to have the AC on when you're not there and it's a vacation home. So instead of leaving one of these dehumidifiers there, we'll keep that humidity level down and it more comfortable inside. All right, and to start, they are both the same brand. These are from Alor-Air, and they did actually send me these units for this testing, but they did not pay me anything for this video. All right, so here's a quick comparison of the boxes with the unit still in them. And this is really important, especially if you're going to travel by airline like I am, because there's weight and size requirements for airlines. Now, both of these units can travel on an airline. From what I've seen, they are over the 50-pound weight limit. This Storm series is, let's see, they call it 67 pounds, so just under a 70-pound weight limit that a lot of the air carriers have. And then the 85P is a little bit lighter at like 65.5 pounds. And then the size of them, the boxes are roughly similar. This Storm one's a little taller this way, but a little bit narrower this way versus this one. But then the weight of the units themselves is a bigger difference. On the Galaxy 85P, it weighs about 57 pounds, where the Storm unit here is about 63 pounds. So, about 6 pounds of difference, or about 10% lighter with the Galaxy 85P unit. This Storm unit is the one that has the wheels. You can handle these. They're a little bit heavy. If you're older or not as strong, you can, but it has little handles here. You can pick up the unit and you can move it up and down if you can handle, like the 60-pound type weight. So let's open these up and see more about them. All right, so if we start with this left one here, this is the Storm SLGR 850X. This is one of their newer ones. It does have wheels on the back side that you can roll around with a handle on the other side. And this one is their newer one that is Wi-Fi equipped. We'll go into that in just a second. This other one is the Galaxy, which is a newer line that they just came out with, 85P. And so it's a smaller, lighter unit. And they actually are both rated for the same amounts of water extraction from the air. That would be 85 ppd in the standard conditions, or the other thing that they like to advertise is the 180 pints per day at that saturation, which I think is 90 degrees F and 90% humidity. Now, the form factor of these two are, of course, different. This one has the option of being a hanging unit, so a crawl space, and that's the optional hanging kit that actually attaches to these bosses on each side. And then this one does have these flip-up handles that you can grab. The other key thing with this one is that it actually has two sets of tubes that come with it. Well, one of them is bigger than the other one, and that's because this one has the option for a gravity drain, or you can use the pump. So that's a nice feature on this side, is the bigger one, and this one allows you to have the gravity drain. Okay, so on the side of this unit is a little door with the filter. Now, I have not seen a easy way to actually get the filter out other than tipping the unit. I would have thought there would be a little way to push it from the other side. But once you tilt it so you can grab it, it is very easy to remove it. It is a aluminum frame. If I look in here, this is actually one of the differences I noticed between the two units. This is a MERV 1 filter, which lower number there on the MERV level means it filters less stuff out. And if you look in it, it's actually just one of those little black foam filters in there. So it's fairly easy to pass through, which might be a good thing depending on what you're doing. It won't clog up as much, but it also doesn't filter as much dust and particles and that kind of stuff out of the air. All right, so basically, they pull out the same amount of water from the air. They cover roughly the same number of square feet. It's 2,300 square feet is what they kind of advertise for each of these units. But now the Galaxy 85P is slightly more efficient running. It does run a different refrigerant as well, but I think it's something like 5.3 amps versus 5.9 amps. So this one is Energy Star rated, so it's a little bit more efficient. It does have a little bit less airflow versus the Storm. And speaking of airflow, the way they move air is also a little bit different. This one is pulling in air this way, goes through the filter, but then it comes out each side. So it kind of goes in and then turns 90 degrees on each ways and blows out left and right. The Storm unit is more of a pass-through unit. It pulls in air from the other side, which is where the filter, and then all the air comes out this way. All right, let me power up this Galaxy 85P and just kind of see what it sounds like. All right, so you can see on the screen here, I'm in continuous operation mode. It's telling you my temperature as well as my humidity and the grams of water per pound. So you gotta wake this back up here. So you can also now set this unit based off relative humidity or how much total moisture content you want to have in there. So I can go in here and change my different settings here. This mode 1 just goes through and I can tell if I want continuous or not. I can do the humidity control. I can change it from grams to relative humidity. It's kind of up to me which one's easier for you to use. And then I can change my set point here by just clicking these buttons. All right, so the Storm actually has a bigger display as well as this one has the Wi-Fi. So I'll show you the Wi-Fi connection as well. Now they actually include a really large and nice pamphlet here that tells you how to get the app all set up. You just download their app from the Play Store or the Apple Store, and then it walks you through step by step of how to set that up. So we'll do that here in just a second. But first, let me just turn this on and see how loud this one is. All right, so I can tell you this one is certainly a louder unit. Now, it's a little bit unfair because the fan is facing towards me and the camera, whereas the other side, the fan is the other way. But overall, this one is a louder unit. That said, I can certainly still have a conversation with it. It's just noticeable that it is a little bit louder. Okay, so on this one, you can see this is the pump exit. So this does not have a gravity option on this one, but it has a nice little feature here where it has a lid that pops up. And then in here, you can store stuff like the exit hose. Now it can go obviously up vertically. I think it's something like 19 feet is the maximum because it is a pump. So it's able to, move this water to wherever you need it to go, which makes it easy to route it to wherever it needs. All right, so also in here is this handle unit, and so this picks up, and then once you pick it up, then those wheels are now rolling. When you set it down, the wheels come off the ground, and that keeps it nice and stationary. It has little rubber feet that go there, so I do like this mobile design. This makes it easy, along with this little storage area here, where you can store your power cord that is in there, as well as your drain hose. All fits in here if you're nice and tidy. Now also in here is the filter up front, so to get the filter out you do have to slide this all the way in. This one does have a little access point at the bottom here that gives you ability to push on the filter itself, and then you can slide the filter up. This one also is a little bit tight there with the handle in this door. So honestly, both of them could use a little bit of improvement with their filter design so it's easier to get in and out. But this one has a white mesh filter here, and again, this one is just a denser foam that is going to filter out a little bit more stuff than the MERV 1 of the Galaxy. All right, so I downloaded the AlorAir app on my phone. All right, so of course, if this is your first time, then you'll have to create an account, which is fairly quick and easy. And then now we will select which type of unit. This is obviously the SLGR. And we know this is the 850X, so let's select that one. And now we need to set the hotspot to off status. I already looked and I already knew that was off. We'll power on, click the menu button. And okay, I already know the hotspot's off. So we're good there. And now we need to set up the dehumidifier purge and menu button. All right. All right, so now we have to select the BK. All right, so now it's going to connect. So now we need to connect to our home Wi-Fi, but we need it to be a 2.4 gigahertz. I was connected to a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so now I just switched to a 2.4, and now I need to put in the password. All right, now we hit next. So now this unit is going to be looking for my Wi-Fi network to connect to, and then it should be good. All right, perfect. That worked. So now I can see, I got some new firmware, so we can do that, and we can update the firmware. All right, so that got updated pretty quick and easy. Okay, so this is pretty nice to have an app. It certainly makes it easy to monitor and actually do some control from remote. And so we can see, you can also get a history. Now, obviously, I don't have a history here because I just plugged in this unit, but this would be really nice over time. You can see not only the day, but weekly and monthly humidity trends there. So that could be really helpful for a vacation home or someplace that you're monitoring from remote. Now you can watch that over time. So I think that's a really cool feature. You can obviously see the model, you can see capability, you can see the filter life. So it's monitoring that front filter on this one is a MERV 8 filter. I'll mention the other one's a MERV 1 filter. So here you can also see the status and any error codes if they were to come up. And then if we hit this down arrow by the console, this gives us a couple other features. Now we actually get a little control unit, basically the same thing that's up here, but it's a little bit user friendly because it's in a phone app, and so you can change stuff a little quicker and easier here. And then again, you can also do things like this locator. If I hit this button here, you can make the unit beep at you. So this would be great if you had multiple units, and especially people that do like the damage restoration. They might have multiple of these units out in a place, and if it's throwing an error code or needs a filter cleaned out, this makes it easier to find the unit. This is kind of cool on the home page. This is giving me this unit. I'm assuming if you have multiple units, you might have scroll and you can see more of them. But this one at the top, it actually tells me my relative humidity outside here and the temperature. So this is outdoors, so it's not something that this is measuring. It must be looking it up based off location. But then it's telling me the in and out conditions of the unit. Obviously, if it's running, the output should be lower humidity and probably higher temperature than the input is. Then you get a couple little set points here. I can click view status, and that's the same thing as just going to details. This is where it was before. So this is a nice, fairly simple little app, and I'm sure it will probably give me alerts or push notifications if an error or issue comes up. All right, so we opted to bring down that yellow Storm unit down to Costa Rica. There's a vacation home my parents have, and it is being utilized there all the time when they're not at the house. They have the AC off, and they want to drop the humidity level in the house because it would stay at like 80+% humidity inside the house if you did not do that. So they have it set to 50% relative humidity, which is probably plenty low enough. I think 60% is probably even a safe choice as well. And so that is there working, and they have the drain tube just feeding into one of their drains at that house, and that's how it operates. And then the beauty about it is that you can log in remotely with your app and check on it. So right now, I'll go into my phone here and show you that. All right, so here on my phone, I can just hit this AlorAir R Lite app, and this works on both Android and Apple devices. And so here you can see that it is currently dehumidifying, and it has a relative humidity of, it's saying coming in is at 49%, and that going out is 38%. So right in this exact case, it's dropping at 11% humidity as it goes through the machine, and it's increasing the temperature. It looks like about 11 degrees. You can see that the inlet temperature is 87 F. Obviously, it's very hot down there, and this is middle of the day. So the only thing I don't like about this app is right above here, it tells you the outside. That outside temp is where my phone's at. So I'm here in Michigan, so it's 42 degrees outside, 83% relative humidity. It doesn't have the outside temperature, outside conditions of where the dehumidifier itself is at. So just something to know there. But in here, you can activate different things. You can change all the settings all remotely on it. So I can change my humidity set point here.
And I can also click in here and view some more statuses about it. So you can see that I'm in visitor mode. This gives you the serial number of the unit, and then it also gives me the current measurements that it has here for in and out that we already showed. It has the coil temperature, and that's important. If that wasn't working right, then that coil temperature would not be dropping. That's how you would kind of know that things are maybe not working. It also has the air filter life, which is nice. It's probably a little bit extra significant digits than are important, but you can see it does keep track of that, which is good. And then you also get the total working hours. You can see that it's been working for 166 hours, a total of runtime. And then when it's done getting to the set point, it'll turn off and it'll turn off the fan and it'll be in rest state until the humidity bumps back up above the threshold. And then if you have any error codes or anything, they will show up here as well. So you have the console, which is what we already showed, but you can purge, you can do location stuff. In here, if I had more devices, I could click on them and switch to a different device, but I don't. And then reminders, if you wanted to set up any reminders, you could do that in here with different alerts. If it's offline, if it needs filter life, all that kind of stuff, you could have it do a push notification so that you're aware of that. You don't have to check the app directly. There is one thing that does not appear to work, and that's on the history. I was hoping this would work, but this history should be showing me the humidity fluctuation over time. But in both my app and on my father's iPhone app, it does not appear to work. So I don't know if that's a bug in the current system, but at least from what I could tell, I could not actually get any data to display here as far as where the humidity has been in the past. But all of the current stuff does work, so I can click in here and watch it live. I just can't see the logged history of it. But other than that, this storm unit's been working great. It's really handy to have it kind of a self-contained package with a little storage and the wheels, so that when we're there, we have the AC on, we pack it up, we pick it up by the handle, wheel it into a closet or the garage, and then set it there while we're visiting, and then we can wheel it back out nice and easy. So that works really well for this use case. This one here is what I have in my basement here, which I'm filming from, is the basement. In the wintertime, I don't need it, but in the summertime, this guy runs and it drains into a drain for me in the basement to keep the humidity down at a comfortable level. So overall, I've been very happy with these units. They're very simple to use, they're pretty quiet, and I like some of the connectivity and settings that they have. So if you like that, please consider looking at them through the link in my video description down below. And of course, if you like the video, hit that like button and consider subscribing to see more content from my channel.